Good morning, good morning. Hi, if you're checking in with us at the moment, my name is Taga, and my cat, you might notice his tail is going around because he's walking around my desk. Welcome to Inspire, Innovate, Ignite Conversations That Count. My name is Taga. I am host of our special panelist discussion today, which is Cultivate the Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine to create financial freedom. Now, before we get started, I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land in which I've been a visitor to with my family for the last 33 years. And it's the land of the Yugambeh language people, of the Aboriginal peoples, of the Bundjalung country. And we humbly acknowledge their elders past, present and emerging, for they hold the stories, traditions and culture that keep us connected to this beautiful country. And I also acknowledge that Aboriginal sovereignty was never ceded. So that is part of what we call an acknowledgement, and part of 5D, the 5D world and wealth creation is collective wealth, is the ability for us to acknowledge the extraction and the impact that we have on the land in which we're coming from, and then our commitment to return what we draw from the land as well. So amazing question, amazing panelists that we have today. We are waiting for a third one to come, but we're going to jump into it. So we're going to really think about what divine feminine is and the divine masculine is to create financial freedom. Before we get started, I would like to just introduce, or have each of our panelists introduce themselves, and they're going to let you know where they're coming from and what their superpower is. So let's start with Donna. You're muted, Donna.
Yay! Yay! We want our women, feminine, divine voices to be heard, don't we, ladies?
Absolutely.
I just want to acknowledge you for acknowledging all the beautiful wisdom that you share at the beginning of this, because really a lot of it comes down to what this conversation is about, is that extraction for greed, and instead of the needs of all life kind versus humankind, all of nature. But my name is Donna Maltz, and I'm known to many as Mama Donna, like the Pachamama. And I am a soil to soul entrepreneur, which means I consider everything and attribute everything to the success of all my eco businesses, to the fact that when I create any business, I think about how it's impacting my soul and how it is impacting, again, the soil, which is the Pachamama. So, which is the divine feminine, and which is where the resources of all the creations of all life come from, is the Mother Earth and the divine. So I have since 1980, I was an organic farmer. I had my first business as an organic farmer, and then I went into all these other multiple successful eco businesses, and now I teach and mentor and coach budding entrepreneurs and guide them to start or scale a business with the soil to soul principles. I'm also a best-selling author. I have 5 books out, and I'm a speaker, and I do my own talk show called A Dose of Positivity, which I'd love to invite you all. Tonga, soon you will be a guest on my show, and I'm excited. So thank you. That's a little bit about me, and I'm excited that our other panelist has arrived and get the show on the road.
Amazing. Reshma.
Hello, I am Reshma Bhojwani, and the founder of Flourish with Freedom, and a published author of my book, Pandemic Budgeting and Finances, How to Use Piggy Banks and Stop Counting Sheep. And so I call myself a money wisdom coach. And I help women who stay stuck in unhappy situations, such as their career, their relationship, or their relationships with themselves, right? I help them not stay stuck, especially not due to money issues and societal judgment issues. So I help them um, have more faith and trust in themselves and choose themselves first and live the life they want and deserve and fulfill their dreams.
Oh, this is going to be amazing. I hope if you're watching this, whether you're live or on the replay, you know, the best thing that you can do is drop any questions in from wherever you're watching this from, because I can promise you, you're going to have a lot of questions coming out, because already the wisdom that we've seen in two of our panelists is on fire. So Anick, thanks for joining us this morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Nice to meet you, Taga. I was just listening to your talk at the summit last night. Really beautiful work that you're doing. Amazing. Yeah, I'm just having a bit of a Wi-Fi issue on my computer this morning, so I'm on my phone in this right in this moment. So hopefully I'll get to go on the computer. Anyway, it's such a pleasure to be with you this morning. Thank you so much for the invitation to talk about a juicy topic. Well, I am on the planet to help powerful women like us to help us to really embody our highest lucrative joy, so that we can grow our soul purpose, grow our mission, our business with more ease in flow, and have way more fun doing it. Because there's a lot of lack of joy in this world. And my dream is to see a world where everyone lives in harmony, inner harmony and outer harmony, in, you know, full joy and thriving. And so, so that's my jam. That's my passion. That's what I do in the world.
I love it. I love your energy there too. I mean, you know, all three of you. And look, when I was talking just before we came on, Donna asked me, you know, what did you want us to be able to focus on? And I led in with this idea, and the work that I've been doing is we really want to dismantle some of the harm that we've seen through generations of patriarchal focused money literacy. And what I mean by that is we've been taught budgets, and often when things go wrong, the very first thing we do is we might go to who we think traditionally has been a financial person that can help us. But what we find is the tradition of the patriarchal way of going and doing things is to go straight to a budget or straight to the numbers, which in and of itself can cause some harm to people. So this is really where we get to talk about, well, how do we start to dismantle that? And what exactly, I guess, to the panelists, let's start with understanding, what is this thing called divine feminine and divine masculine? So we'll start with Donna.
I just love what you just said there, that budget and numbers, right? These are words. And if we take those same words, budget and numbers, and we look at the budget of how many microorganisms are in the soil, and budget what we need to do to keep the earth in balance, if we're taught that, that's the financial literacy that, in order to sustain life on this planet, we need to be thinking about how we're going to budget that. Before we think how much money, cash flow, all of this stuff, we need to look at how what we're creating and what we're doing is impacting the balance of the Mother Earth, which is a feminine, which is the divine mother, the Mother Earth, right? And I say this all the time, like, because you were talking a patriarch society versus a matriarch or whatever. I don't believe either is good. It's a balance. And what if from the beginning of time, and I write this in my book, it was kind of nervy to write it because like people, but what if from the beginning of time we got on our hands and knees and we prayed to our Father, the Pacha planet? What if we prayed to the earth as a masculine, and we got on our hands and our knees and we looked up at the heavens and to the goddess, the mother, the Pacha heavens, and we looked at that as the divine feminine? How might the world be different? Would we rape? Would we take? Would we pillage? If the earth was a male deity, if may say, or the female was the goddess. So it's sort of like, how do we balance that? Because neither is, it's like, I don't want to take anybody's religion apart, but a lot of this fundamentally starts with that, and we can see what's happened to the earth because of that. So money and balance and budgeting and really knowing the numbers is knowing the population is multiplying faster than we can keep up with it. And the demands of the people haven't changed. So there's where the money can be made, I feel, especially with females who, when they are put in charge as CEOs of these major corporations, there's studies out there that show that women CEOs make 10 to 20% more for the companies. Are they paid more? No. Women are usually in the same positions, are paid 70 to 80% less than the male. So these statistics are barely budging still. So we can't think of the numbers like, well, how much money I'm making. We have to think about how much a difference we're making and realize that it's not the money, the number or the amount that's going to make us happier. It's the accomplishments that we achieve. And women, like all of us who are listening to this, all of us are here, are supporting each other, who are doing those things that are going to help sustain, bring the solidarity, bring the sovereignty back to our communities, and the origin of looking at nature as the main, it is the bank. All these banks just build physical property on top of the bank where everything comes from. Everything, including the nickels and the dollar and the pennies that we mine for the minerals, to the cotton fibers and hemp fibers that go into making bills. The roofs over our head, the clothes we wear, the food we eat, everything comes from the bank of the Mother Earth. Mother Earth. Mother Earth. So the divine feminine, it's kind of like they don't teach us that in school, right? This is what Soul to Soul Mama Donna is trying to, the message to bring, to empower women, to empower the masculine, the men, to appreciate and respect and honor so that they have a balance. And that for women not to, like, there's a lot of women who are just as white male as you can, they are whiter than most white males when they are on this like cleavage climbing ladder. My boobs are big, I want to raise. So we want to value ourselves, value each other. So I feel like diversifying our portfolios, diversifying the people like you have brought to this panel, and having this discussion, Taga, is so, so vital. And we want to keep it going and spread it like a healthy virus, healthy microbes. Right? We all have viruses in our body, bacteria, all of those things, right? So we want to balance, like we were talking about earlier. We need to stay healthy. We need to encourage each other to be healthy first, because when our microbiome is in balance and our health is in order, then we can balance our careers. And I just thank you for everybody for listening to that. It was a lot. And I love questions. So if anybody wants to talk more or ask questions. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Mama Donna. That was so powerful. And I love how you said, really it's about how do we now reframe the way we ask about, instead of how much are we earning, how much of a difference can we make? What can we bring to community? Reshma, thank you. What are your thoughts?
So for about budgeting and numbers, I feel that there's nothing to be afraid of looking at budgets and numbers, and it's more about the divine masculine is about foundation, structure, systems, and the divine feminine is about your creativity, your wildness, your intuition, your flow. And so you need the structure to build to support your craziness, whimsiness, because it's important to have a foundation. I mean, even the root chakra is all about foundation and stability and feeling secure. So I feel all women should at least have financial literacy and not be afraid to look at their numbers, because that gives them more power. And it's about budgeting is not, people feel when you budget, it's more restricting you, but it's not. Actually, it's freedom. It gives you more freedom because now you understand where you are in your number, where you are with your money, how much money do you have, so you know how much to spend. A client of mine, I told him that you could have a bucket called blow up money. And it blew his mind to know that I could have a blow up money bucket. And I was like, yeah, just put some money there and you could do what you want with it. So that's like freedom, because now you know how much money you have. Okay, I paid my bills, I did this, I did that. I have this money which I can do whatever I want with it. And then there's no guilt, shame, nothing, because you've allocated that amount and you're now spending that amount. So I feel that having a foundation, even when we start a business, right, the first thing we need is to have our basic, our foundation. We just don't start a business and then figure out that, oh, I'm going to get 100 clients, but I don't have enough time and now I have to say no to clients. And also it's always important to have a basic foundation. So the balance between the feminine and the masculine is what gives you the opportunity to be even more creative, because you've taken care of your numbers and now you can focus on the fun stuff, the creativity, whatever your business is all about. So that is my thoughts. And also it's not about how much you make, because a person, and I've written it in my book in one of the chapters, like a person could make $250,000, but if their expense is $225,000, then their net, what do you call it? So they've got only $25,000 net worth. Their net worth is only $25,000, but another person could make $80,000, but his expenses are only $40,000. So his net worth is $40,000, even though he made lesser than half than what the other person made. So it's all about how you live, minimalism versus materialism and all that good stuff. Thank you.
Oh, I like this. I like this conversation. Thank you so much, Reshma, for your wisdom there. And let's go to Anick.
Can you reframe your question again?
Yeah, absolutely. So how do you define just what divine feminine is? So someone that is coming all new to this, all they've ever done is corporate ladder, and they've only ever had, corporate thinking and jobs, but now they're starting to think, oh, this isn't aligned. And now we're introducing this concept of divine feminine and divine masculine. And some people might go, oh, that's too woo-woo for me. So how would you define what divine feminine and divine masculine is?
Yeah. Well, we have that within ourselves. We whether we're a man or a woman in this human form, there's a part of us that is the feminine is the part of us that receives, that welcome. Like in sexuality, like women get penetrated, like we give birth. So we really with the receptor, the receptivity, we nourish, we welcome. We're the soft, gentle. We're welcoming. Like when Donna was mentioning about the earth, like the earth's very feminine energy. She's holding, she nourishes, she provides for us, she holds us, and we have that part of us. Everyone has that part. That's the creative, that's the expressive, that's I really thrive in the feminine personally. I've got a strong feminine energy. And then the masculine energy, the divine masculine energy, the part of us that is more masculine is the doer, is the go-getter, is the one that takes actions, the one that goes like in the old days. Like I've got Native American Indian blood in me. On my father's side, my grandmother was 100% Algonquin in North America and Canada. And so back in the days, the masculine, they would send, before the women would get married and procreate, have babies, they would send the men, they would test them to see if they were a good hunter. So they would send them in the wild and see if they could provide for the family, if they could hunt, a bear, or like bring some food to the table. So your divine inner masculine is the one who has more structure, is more organized, and goes hunt, take actions. Because if you're like, we're all female business owners here. I've got a business. I thrive in my business. And for that, I need to bring my masculine. If I don't make decisions and take actions, I'm not going to bring any food to my inner divine feminine for her to have space to play and create and nourish myself, and there's a third part, which is your inner child, but I'm not going to do that one. We're going to stick to the divine masculine, but it's a very juicy conversation.
I get the feeling up. Oh, sorry, we're just losing.
Oh, I
can you hear me?
Just beginning to drop out. You're coming back now, yes.
Oh, okay, sorry.
We heard you to the divine, to the inner child.
Yeah, I'm not gonna dive in this panel into that conversation, but for us to really becoming conscious and aware of the feeling of that, tuning into that divine feminine and divine masculine, and there's healing that needs to be done, because we had role models, ancestral models, and our mother and father, and if we haven't had the models that taught us how to embody these parts and own them, then we're going to have a little bit of a struggle to to go out in the world and embody these parts, the feminine, the masculine, and use them and honor them. They're sacred, we're sacred beings. Yeah.
This is powerful. I knew it was going to get powerful. And I think that, the strongest thing that's really come through here is the understanding that all parts of us are important. The divine feminine and the balance of the divine masculine are in all of us. It's not gender specific. It is in every single one of us. And so we get to allow all parts to flourish. And Anick, as you said, there's going to be moments that you're going to need to have the balance go, where your divine masculine skills and planning and structure, and Anish, like you were saying, that structure and being organized, that's the forward momentum in terms of action taking and goal setting. And Donna, like really honing in on the divine feminine and our need to heal the parts that have been suppressed whether it's because of systemic history and, you know, generational, all of the things that we get to wake up those parts that we've suppressed. Some people call it shadow work. Yeah. I'd love to, and I think we've already gone into this, but I'd really like to dive a little bit deeper around, let's say someone is watching this and right now, they're not talking to their partner, or the balance around money conversations is that, let's say, because typically, sadly, the statistics show the female or the woman in the relationship is not as involved in the finances, and she has lost her voice. She's, you know, I'll trust you to do the money, I'll raise the children, I'll do all the home stuff, I'm only working part-time, so you do it, you're earning most of it. So they're sort of like giving some of their power away. How can we speak into that as a panel? Where would she start? Let's start with Donna.
Wow. Well, I think that the most important thing that women, when they're taking care of the children and the home and feeling like undervalued, because that's where we start, because there's nothing more important or valuable than raising our children and providing healthy food and a quality environment for our children to grow up in. And so it's really changing that mindset. I mean, even other women looking at other women. I mean, I love some of the new age women who are coming up today, and they're doing more of these play groups, and they're doing more homeschooling, and they're raising their children to be stewards of the earth rather than rapers of the soul and the soil. I really look at that and I think, well, that takes so much time and so much energy. And one of the things that I counsel and help these women do is become financially secure while you're doing that. So there's ways to create economic, eco-entrepreneurial endeavors, including encompassing your children, because children learn by what they see, not by what you say. So if you're a mom and you're raising them and you're doing this thing around your home, there's no reason your children know that whether you're a graphic designer, you know, you don't have to give it all up. Just say, well, this is how much money I need so I can go out with my friends, so I can do what I want to do. Create your own, like Rajama was saying, you know, or that bucket list or the blow up list. When I have a version of what a blow up list should be, it should be definitely, you know, responsible blow up list. You know, you don't want to be blowing single serve vodka shots. But you know, having a blow up list, you know, your own money, always having your own money and growing on it. And I have seen a lot of the women that I work with who are raising 2-3 children, whether they're creating a daycare, homeschool, online business, eBay. One woman was killing it, not killing it, but growing it. You know, going to garage sales with her kids and clothing her children with that, and herself saving money, saving the environment by not spending money. And then whatever didn't fit, or she saw a really high quality thing she went and sold on eBay, she was making $2,000-$3,000 a month, having fun. Right? Like our joy host down there, Aja. So there are so many and so many things that women can do, even mothers and with children. So that's the first thing. You want more money? Then you spend time with people who make more money than you. You want to be poor and joyless? There's plenty of people out there you can hang out with. So that's so cool. If anybody's listening to the replay, you have found some totally cool women to hang out with right here at Sacred You. So yeah, don't give up your dreams. If you went to art school, start painting and selling at pop-up markets. Start selling online. I mean, don't give up your dreams. I think that was what I think I'm answering the question. I kind of got lost in that scenario telling you about my friend who this young woman who did this eBay business. But yeah, we as women in the household can be the primary finance people. There's many women now that I know who husbands are raising the children. And we need, it's our responsibility to recognize that maybe we have a partner who has that divine feminine energy, and that's where they're comfortable in, and honor them like you would want to be honored if you were doing that with your children, and allowing men to take part in that. Because there are some women who just say, you know, who shut the men off because that is their role. Don't tell me you're not here all day. Or instead of saying, hey, why don't you work 3 days a week? I'll work 3 days a week. I mean, there's ways that we can communicate with our partners and with our children to balance, to bring that equilibrium back into the family dynamics or just the partner relationship.
I love that. I love that. Reshma, let's go to you and your thoughts.
Yeah, it's a very interesting question you asked. And I want to share a story about my client who she makes like, say, $500 a month, and her husband makes $5,000 a month. And she was comparing the amount she makes and contributes towards the house versus him. And she wanted to contribute. So she was like, I'll take over the grocery, and I'll do the grocery per month. And then when she used to try to spend when they used to eat out and things like that. And she used to, and then she also had her business expenses to take care of. So she would sometimes not be able to afford the grocery and then put it on credit card. And now she has credit card debts because she's buying grocery and not paying it off because her business is, her business is still small. But she had these self-esteem issues and, insecurity. And instead of openly having a talk with her husband, she was getting herself into trouble with her own finances. They managed their finances separate, so they didn't really know how much the other person made or whatever. But she, after working with me, she now understood her numbers and she knew exactly where she is. She didn't even know before whether she was breaking even or not. And then she had the courage to have this conversation with her husband, and they literally had a conversation. And after that, they started contributing. She still was contributing, but a percentage versus, contributing 90% of her income and getting into credit card debts and all. So then it became on an equal level when they started contributing percentages versus, $500 to $5,000 difference thing. And they opened a joint account. She would contribute her share, he would contribute his share, and then their whole situation improved. Their open conversations. Like, I had been thinking about having this conversation with my husband for a year or two, and she just didn't know how to do it and didn't feel safe about it. And they had this beautiful conversation, and their relationship improved, and the whole tension and stress went away. And she still felt very good that she's contributing towards the household expense in whatever way she can. So it was very beautiful that the power of knowing what her numbers mean brought so much change and so much confidence in her to actually have this beautiful talk with her husband. So I was very happy that she got that courage to do it. So
wow.
Thank you.
Let's sit with that. Hey, I actually, at the moment, I'm leaving this job, but at the moment I coach financial coaches for women that have left violent relationships, and this is a key part of the conversation. And just hearing that sometimes we seem to think that we should know how to have these conversations. But as you've just alluded to there, Reshma, the importance of getting support, the importance of getting into the right, like Donna, like you're saying, just even in this, watching this, you're going to hopefully pick up some things like, these are skills. These are skills that we can all learn. We're not born with just knowing, how do I have this conversation so that, I'm getting the balance. We get to mix with the right people, so we develop that skill.
Yeah, none of us need to do any of this alone, and somebody's strength, somebody's weakness. So why not hire a coach or a mentor and use their strength and learn from their mistakes and speed up your process, right? She was in her head for 2 years, and then within less than 3 months of coaching, she had this beautiful conversation, and she was so proud of herself for doing it,
Wow. Don't wait 15 years like I did. Like, this is the whole point of us now turning back and going, you know what? The next person behind me doesn't need to wait 15 years. We can shorten that very quickly. Anick.
So the question is about having the conversation about money. Is that the...
Yeah, so if you're feeling particularly stuck, and particularly because a lot of women will be watching this, and there might be an imbalance at the moment, or they might be feeling a little bit like Reshma described her client, how do I get unstuck because it's not feeling good at the moment?
I think it's actually changing a little bit. I mean, depends where where you're at on your journey, I suppose. But I had a friend of mine, she's making 5 times more money than her partner, and she does what she's passionate about, and she's really succeeding, and they're having this conversation of that he has to let go of his ego and he's quite accepting that she's a powerhouse, and she's generating money. I mean, there's a lot of healing that needs to be done around, healing, I don't know if healing is the word, but education, I suppose, education and transformation. There's a lot of fear around money, like I didn't receive a good education. I mean, honest, genuine education about money. Like I was stuck like for 5 years. I didn't do my tax, I remember, because I was terrified of just like having a look at it. I was completely in my money trauma, I was in my money trauma. There's a lot of traumas around that. I mean, deeper than that, it's behind the money. There's the person who gives you money. It's more around the person you have a trauma, but it's purely education and like having the courage to slowly start to educate yourself of, money is not dangerous. It's not going to eat you. And it's not, it's this fear of, it's the survival. It comes down to survival. And there might be a lot of shame. Like some women, there might be a lot in shame. Like I had heaps of shame around, having the conversation on money, like, am I making enough, not enough? Am I charging too much, not enough? Like all that sort of jazz, just it can give you a big headache, really. So I suppose bringing some lightness and joy, and as the Reshma said, getting a mentor, a group of people that are, to educate yourself, to start to have the conversation around that. And rather than say bad judging yourself if you believe you don't make enough money or too much money, and being more gentle and relaxed around it. So, doing a bit of movement and breath work and relaxing, lighting that up, because it's sadly it's a source of conflict in many households. You see it can be a source of conflict and bring the worst in humanity, really. Which it shouldn't be that way, because money is just an energy, really. That's what it is. It doesn't even exist. If you go at the bank and knock at the door and ask for you 20 grand, 50 grand, or $2 or whatever you have there, it's not even there. It's circulating. It's been invested. It's moving around, it's not even there. So softening. Yeah, my message is softening around money, relaxing around money, and daring to start to have a conversation about it. I mean, that's been my journey, and it's ongoing. It's ongoing. I'm putting my prices up soon, and it's just an ongoing dance. It's like a dance,
And I think you just really well define the movement of the energy of divine feminine and divine masculine is really like, how do we bring that gentleness back into it in terms of our own self-care around that?
Yeah, exactly. It's because it's self-care, like it should be, I mean, really it should be taught at school, like learning. We should learn that from like 3-4 years old, like really starting really young. So, like parents get educated, so then you can educate your children, you can educate your children. And it should be a curriculum at school on sexuality and money that rules the world, it's such big topics, and it's so there's so much shame and fears and traumas around these topics, and they that's why we're here, like sex. But I bring sex, I mean, we're talking about money here, but they're just the most important things ever in humanity. If we can soften around that, get educated and open our heart and relax, that's where we get good ideas, when we're relaxed, when we're open. It's not when we're tense and we're fighting around, not enough money to pay the bills, or if I start a business I won't be able to succeed because I have to charge money. I was in conversation with a woman yesterday, like, she's amazing in what she does. She's super intuitive, and she helps people. She doesn't charge. I'm like, well, you've got to look after yourself first. If there's no money that comes in, how can you feed yourself, have a roof above your head, and and not valuing what you're offering, which is your energy, your time. I'm very passionate about that. We definitely need to be educated. And so I guess my message, bottom line, is to learn to soften, meditate, tune in. And step number 2, educate yourself. And step number 3, engage conversation. Find groups like here. We're in, find like sacred community, feminine community. Find groups where you can get educated. Listen to my YouTube channel, my TED Talk, read my book, Liberate Your Heart and Activate Your Inner Healer. You know what I mean? Educate yourself. Find people like us to hold you by the hand and climb the ladders and free yourself from that
flourish. Yeah. And that's the only time expansion can happen. And one of the resources that we're now limited is time. But this is the whole idea of having this type of container, that we get to get a bit of a taste, because literally you're just getting a peek in the door at the moment. So what we're going to do is just quickly go around our panelists who are going to share what it is they have to offer, and then we'll hand it over to the lovely Sophia so she can talk a little bit about our community here as well. So Donna, let's start with you.
Time is our greatest currency, isn't it? I just love being on this panel. Everybody just, I'm all ignited. I hope everybody else who's listening to this is too, and feeling empowered to go out there and make a difference with their money to help make the world a better place. Because when you're making money that's going to make a difference, it's endless. I mean, you just go for it. But when you're making money just to buy nail polish and booze, there's a whole different mentality, a mindset. And I have been just real quick I've been with my partner since 1982. I hired him in my bakery when I was 26 when I hired him. And we've been together ever since. and we have a very healthy relationship around money. And in the restaurant, we call it, well, he headed up knowing each other's strengths. He worked in the back of the house. I worked mostly in the front of the house. But guess what? I worked in the back of the house too, and he worked in the front of the house. But it's continually knowing our strengths, communicating, like Reshma said, just having those conversations. We talk about money every single day on a different level. It might be for 2 minutes. It might be for hours about our portfolio or our travel plans. So it's just like talking about anything, it's just like it should be transparency. And so what I guess I offer, as far as offering goes, I offer, 40 plus years of eco-entrepreneurship, mentorship, and coaching to help people become prosperous in their health and well-being first. Because once you've got that and you've got the mindset, you will have a healthy business, creating healthy types of businesses. If you want a salon, it'll be an eco salon. If you want to have a daycare, it will be a social and environmentally responsible daycare, all inclusive. So no matter what kind of business, being a CEO of a company or a CFO of your own company, or both, because you can't hire somebody yet, I help people find what they do best. I help them appreciate their greatest qualities and who they are, and to budget and to know the numbers as well. I'm great with spreadsheets and financial, but first we do a life plan and then we move on to a business plan, because a business plan is simple, and a business plan is only as good, and your numbers are only as good as how you use them. And that's a big problem with people, is not taking that action like we talked about earlier. I also offer custom retreats on the Big Island where they're all inclusive or a la carte. And this is my office, and this is where you would sit, and we would have sessions and go on hikes and talk about all of these. You can go to my website and see more. But about these self-worth and what your net worth is are two separate things. And when you have self-worth, your net worth goes clear out to here. And so that's where I come into play. I'm also written 5 books, and anybody who's interested, I'm offering a free ebook for my first book, which is called Living Like the Future Matters: The Evolution of a Soul to Soul Entrepreneur, which really talks about this journey. And if you go to my Eco-Spired by Nature website, I have a couple of websites, you would get 20% off your first order, even if it's a retreat with me or a coaching call. And I also offer free consultations. But I want to empower and inspire as many humans to work to create a more harmonious world for all of life kind, including humans. So I just thank you so much, Sophia, for this platform, and Taga for your genius questions and bringing these incredible panelists together, all of us coming from joy and practicality and from our hearts. And I am forever grateful. Well, I hope to hear from some of you out there who are listening. So
Looking
big
forward
love
to a visit to Aussie someday, Donna. So.
Yes, and you here too, my love.
And Reshma, how are we doing there?
Good. Yeah. So I am the host of Flourish with Freedom under Sacred You, and we talk about, we have open conversations, and we are vulnerable, and we speak our truth. We talk about the freedom of expression, freedom of choosing your life, freedom of time, freedom of money, so that we can flourish as per our choosing. And it's a very fun place to come and just open up, no judgment zone. And we share our experiences and learn from each other. So please come and join me. Today, I'm doing Flourish with Freedom every Fridays at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, Saturday, 10 a.m. Australian Eastern Time. So in an hour's time, come and join me. And you can also check out my Flourish with Freedom Facebook group if you like. So I'm looking forward to hearing more from you. Thank you.
Oh, you just got someone who's coming. So thank you for that, Reshma. And just to remind all the viewers here, we're going to be dropping all the links for what our panelists are sharing here as well. All right, Anick.
All right. Yes, so, such a delicious conversation. Thank you so much for having me here. It's really enriching. What I'm offering, I'm offering an exquisite program. I've got a 9 months program embodying your highest lucrative joy. And I'm offering courses and workshops. I've got a networking event that is happening twice a month. It's called Voice, Elevate, and Connect. You can join, and if you put my link tree there, I hope you have my link tree link. Should I send it to you? Yeah, you're gonna see all the things that I'm doing. Website, I've got a Facebook group as well, and I help empath and heart-centered entrepreneur. So yes, it'll be a joy to help you. So tune in, join the group, come to Voice, Elevate, and Connect, and reach out. I'm everywhere. If you Google my name, Anick Patry, Unique Anick, you'll find me. You'll find me. I'm all over the place. TikTok, YouTube, Linktree, Facebook, Instagram. Please reach out, and I'm offering a free one-on-one conscious conversation with you to see if we're a fit. And I've created a modality as well, which is the trademark called voice tapping. So that's really powerful to help actually with releasing the energies that no longer serves you, so that you can really go for what you want in life and enjoy your life. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much. All right, that has been an amazing conversation. For me, I am the host of Restore Your Inner Money Guru Tribe with the Sacred You community. And we specifically talk about evidence-based mindset practice and bringing that together with money literacy as well, and the importance of getting the balance. And in this container, it is the balance of the divine feminine and the divine masculine. But we also go into more practice-based things. What are the things that we can do to regulate our systems, to recognize when we're dysregulated? Things like if you're stressed about money and you're not able to talk about your money issues, this is the space for us to bring that together in a safe conversation. So we meet once every 2 weeks, so the first and the second Sunday in Australia. So if you work that out based on your time zone and things like that, of each month. And I pretty much just walk through it. There's a little bit of an education component to it, but more so holding space and sharing experiences as well. So that's a bit about me. And now I'm going to hand it over to our amazing host of Sophia with Sacred You, who's going to speak a little bit more about Sacred You community.
Thank you, Taga. And this has been a joy. This has been a real joy listening to everyone. I've been here putting everyone, all your beautiful women's links in the comments and listening, and so many nice, really, such a great in-depth conversation. You don't usually put money with divine feminine and masculine. They're usually separate things. So I love this, how you put this together, Taga. So thank you so much for bringing it to our community and the world. We have had a few people watching us, so do click on the links below. And for anyone out there who is watching, come and join us. Come and join us. We've got so many panels coming up, right up all the way up until April, May, June at the moment. We're getting more, and soon we'll be having July, August, and September. There's so much more that our community offers. So come and join us just for $1 Australian. And for that, you get 3 weeks to try out all our tribes, including Taga's Restore Your Inner Money Guru Tribe, which is on coming up very soon, every fortnight. Reshma's Flourish with Freedom Tribe. We've got over 20 other tribes that you can come and join, like I said, for 3 weeks, just for $1 Australian. After that, it is only 35 Australian dollars a month. And for anyone who's wanting a platform to promote your business, is wanting a platform to connect with other entrepreneurs, to be able to, to really connect with like-minded people who are interested in what you have. Right now, we do have a host special where you can come and join us also for $1 Australian, and then you have 6 weeks to not only try out all our other all our other tribes, but to also to get your tribe up and running. So do click on the links that will be in the comments very, very soon. And just want to thank you all again. If I haven't done so, really thank you. Thank you, Donna. Thank you, Anick. Thank you, Reshma. And thank you, Taga, for sharing your passion, for taking time out on this Saturday morning here in Australia, Friday evening for Reshma and for Donna. Just thank you for sharing your passion with the world. It has been a real honor to be able to host this today. Thank you. And